save your life.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, and we are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we're going to do a quick Sleuth crew review. Sorry for the scheduling snafu. It is what it is. So if you have seen it, good. If you haven't, honestly, I wouldn't bother, right? In my opinion, it was extremely biased. It appeared to be a program masquerading as something fair, but with a real bias undertone. The only thing you would be missing out on is a lot of photographs. I have some screenshots. I can help you with that. It's all fair use. Welcome in Andrew, CJK, Mark, Miss Dog Lover. What up? Tony, good to see you. Cindy, how are you? Misty. Nana 73. And I did take some notes. But I want to hear from you guys first. I want to hear your opinions. And honestly, guys, if you haven't seen it, you're really not missing anything. What's up, James? The hell you been? Where you been hiding? Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. I hope you're doing okay. It's good to see you. Cheeks, hey guys, didn't see it yet, but I'll definitely watch it. Trailer looked whack. I didn't expect much. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen it, or if you can't see it, honestly, I don't think you're missing much. I felt like there was a very pro Richard Allen vibe to it, kind of masquerading as a fair representation, very avant-garde. CJK, welcome. James, I'll survive, I think. Well, you hang in there, dude. Can't see worth a shit, though. I don't plan on watching some pro Allen shit. I mean, it wasn't blatantly pro Richard Allen. But after watching all 3 episodes, that's the vibe that I got. And was this documentary, did it have a different title at one time? Because I logged on to Hulu Online and it went berserk. Big Fish, Small Pond. It was the most well-rounded I've seen. Look, this is funny. It's funny that you said this. And I'm not attacking you, Fishy, but I've seen similar people say that. Not similar people, but I've heard people say similar things on X this morning. And I said, dang. And most of them were pro Richard Allen. And I said, wow, it takes an extremely biased program for some people to refer to it as fair. I literally kind of thought that to myself. Like sometimes you got to go so far to one side before they'll actually use that word. You keep using this word. Here, I have something for that. right? People that use the word fair. This one is for you.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay, somebody help me with this. Now, was there going to be a previous release of this video? What the hell is this? Who is the Delphi killer? It says ABC News, Impact, Nightline, but it's dated 2024. So when I clicked on this, it played this, but it kind of went haywire. So were they originally going to release this version of it? And then they changed the name? What the hell happened? Miss Dog Lover with the super chat says, congratulations on 10K subs, Sleuth. Very well deserved. Thank you. Thank you. You know, when you get around 10K to the algorithms, I was always told that. I didn't believe it. I do now. Thank you for your support. Fishy, I didn't say that it was fair. I just said that it was the most well-rounded. Another way of saying fair, meaning that they actually touched on other potential suspects and showed that there was more than what happened in court. Yeah. It's pretty much what I said. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hiawatha, Shakespeare being true to herself. Yeah. True that. Good to see you, Hiawatha. What it felt like to me is somebody that did not really know the well, might have been new to it, was only exposed to the information right around the time Richard Allen was arrested, and did their best to rush it, to piece it all together. You know, I'm going to make my documentary before you make yours. I mean, I like Hannah. I like her. You don't have to agree with people. If you disagree with people, don't correlate that with a like or dislike. Because at the core, we all pretty much get along. We all pretty much have all the same things in common. It's when you get down to politics. And true crime is nothing but politics, honestly. Right? The way you look at the world, the way you communicate with other people about those beliefs. Fishy, hell yeah. Double digits. But can somebody explain to me what was going on with these titles here? Because it fucked my Hulu all up. Like it didn't autoplay episode 2 or 3. It just gave me an error. So I have a feeling at one point, right? Am I wrong? Were they planning to release this version? Who is the Delphi killer? Like they didn't already know? Because I think it was smack dab in the middle of the trial. CJK, you can't stand anyone. I'm right there with you, CJ. I did take some screenshots. This is fair use, so you can try to come at me if you want to. Won't do you any good. All right, so I'm going to go over my notes. And honestly, I was kind of already over it after the first 15 minutes. I was like, oh, here we go. This is a documentary for people that don't really know the case. I guess that could be good, right? The reason I snapped this clip here, Ron Logan running around looking like the bridge guy. It's hard to ignore, especially with this little fucking fanny pack thing hanging down beneath his blue jacket. This case is so bizarre, you guys. Think about it. How many people are viable persons of interest? Ron Logan. I agree to that. But even Dave McCain, Brad Weber, right? They all fit that timeline. Kagan Klein, his confessions. He never said, as far as we know, Richard Allen's name. He confessed, but he never said Richard Allen's name. You have his attachment, and then you have Richard Allen, right? The same reason that Brad Weber and Dave McCain make viable persons of interest are the same reason that Richard Allen does. They fit the timeline. Okay. And we all used to watch Sesame Street. Remember back in the day? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Something like that, right? Well, the difference is Richard Allen had an actual nexus to the crime scene. So the only argument we should be having about the Delphi murders is whether or not the bullet evidence is valid or not. That's the only discussion. That's the only thing separating Richard Allen from anybody else is his nexus. That bullet they're claiming matches his firearm. That's the only discussion that needs to be had. And it seems that people just kind of brush right over it. Right? We always wondered what the hell is under Bridge Guy's jacket. Well, what the hell is under Ron Logan's jacket? Jeez. What's up, Frank? Fishy Kurtz? Yeah, connected to Ron Logan. James, there was only one true person of interest, and he got convicted. I don't know. Ron Logan was definitely a person of interest. And why is he running around looking like the bridge guy? He doesn't look like him here, right? But he could if he took off those boots and put on some, maybe some sneakers. I mean, you just can't ignore that, right? Ron Logan's property and the whole information about him redoing his bathroom. I mean, you can't ignore the similarities of people like Rex Heuermann, who did the same thing, right? His wife flew out of the country, go visit her relatives. He commits his serial murder, does it at the house, uses the restroom while she's out of town. He completely redoes the bathroom, even the pipes. And apparently that's the same thing that Ron Logan did. That would definitely give you the confidence to go in front of a camera, for sure. So you have all these people who make viable suspects, but the only one who's actually connected to the crime scene through physical evidence, not just, it being on their property, is Richard Allen. So if you're going to argue anything about his connection to it, it better involve the bullet, because that's really the only thing connecting him to it. As far as timeline, what about Dave McCain? He was there at 2 and left at 4. That fits better than Richard Allen's timeline. And who's to say he's not the bridge guy? Well, we're assuming Richard Allen's the bridge guy because they found his bullet at the crime scene, and it's the bridge guy that kidnapped them, right? It's only common sense. James Cope. Who is Hannah? Hannah is Hannah Shakespeare. You remember Fig Solves, his channel put out that documentary. Sorry, guys, I'm having a sneeze attack. Whew. Got allergies today. Right. So there's definitely plenty of people who fit the timeline who could have been involved. The only difference really is Richard Allen's bullet was found at the crime scene. That's it. And law enforcement, they kind of said that out loud. Like, hey, we've served dozens of search warrants. We've tested weapons of these people, compared those results to what we found at the crime scene, and there wasn't a match. But with you, Richard Allen, we did the same thing, and guess what? We did find a match. That's it. That is the hair that is holding up the case against Richard Allen. It's just dangling by a thread. But that one thread is the bullet evidence. The defense team never really attacked it. They never tried to do anything against it. So I don't care what you argue about Odinism and, oh my God, the documentary finally talked about third-party suspects. Yeah, let's just forget about the bullet evidence that got him convicted in the first place. But the truth is, that's it. Richard Allen's conviction is hanging on that evidence because it's the nexus, and people really don't talk about it. What's up, She Warrior? Thanks for the email today. And I agree with you, by the way. Ooh, yeah, this one was violent. It was like 3 strong ones in a row. I just cut the grass. I'm allergic to grass, I think. I can't take anyone serious who doesn't think Richard Allen is guilty, in my opinion. Yeah, because no matter how you look at it, he's involved, right? I don't care if Ron Logan is the bridge guy. I could care less. Let's say Richard Allen isn't the bridge guy. Well, that means that Ron Logan is the bridge guy, and Ron Logan was waiting on the other side. And that's how they were able to control both girls. That's it. Because we don't know anything. They really didn't prove that Richard Allen was the bridge guy. They kind of did through witnesses. They definitely convinced a jury. But for me, it's the bullet, right? I don't care about the bridge guy. You admitted to being there, and your bullet is found at the crime scene. And you said you weren't target practicing down there. You admitted to being a fisherman. Why not just say you had your gun down there and you were fishing down there? Because he probably has. He probably has been fishing down there, maybe even shooting that gun. But by admitting that, it's also providing a nexus to the crime scene. Richard Allen's definitely a proactive killer. Countermeasures, that's his game. Beth, what's up? We know Richard Allen is bridge guy because of the 3 girls he saw and they saw him. Yep. But let's ignore that, Beth. Let's ignore that and let's talk about Ron Logan, right? That's confirmation bias at its finest. I think a healthy conversation would be Richard Allen, at the very least, is suspect number 1. Did he get a fair trial? I don't know. Is there a such thing? I don't think so. So here are screenshots. I was just kind of taking some shots with my phone as I was watching the documentary. But Beth, it wasn't just the three girls. Betsy Blair said the person that I saw was also the bridge guy. See, now that the transcripts were released, it did nothing but hurt Richard Allen, because everybody that's out fighting for Richard Allen has based their information off of rumors and falsehoods. Farce. It's just a farce, their whole argument. So the fact that the court transcripts came out, we have all the facts there. And we can see how they've been skewed in the public eye. But they won't move away from that. They won't move towards the facts. They still cling on to the misinformation and the rumors because it paints the picture that follows their narrative. Right, kind of like with the lost tip. During the documentary, they said Kagan Klein did not admit guilt or involvement in the Delphi murders. That's a bold-faced fucking lie. They also said that it wasn't Richard Allen who purposely misled law enforcement while filling out the tip sheet or providing the tip information. They're saying that it's confirmed that it was some law enforcement that did that. That's bullshit. You don't know if Richard Allen didn't actually say, hey, my name is Richard Allen Whiteman, or didn't fill out a slip saying, my name is Richard Allen Whiteman. Because during the trial, Dan Doolin testified that it was written out on the tip sheet just like that. Richard Allen Whiteman. Now, why would Richard Allen do that? So that it might get tangled up in the weeds. I'm not saying that's what caused it to get tangled up in the weeds, but I think that that's what he was hoping for. What's up, Kathy? What's interesting, too, about all these photos with Kathy and Rick is that it's Kathy that's not smiling. But I don't know. Maybe she's self-conscious about her teeth or something. I used to have a friend that was like that. He would smile, but without smiling. But yesterday we did a live stream on compartmentalized killers. This whole documentary was trying to paint Rick Allen as like just a family man, harmless dude. But that's what compartmentalization is, right? The BTK. So here are some of the photos they showed, right? The photographs, the weddings. Well, check this out. You guys recognize him? Another person very capable of hiding in plain sight. During the documentary, Kathy claimed that Richard Allen was asleep. She got home sometime shortly after 5:30. He's asleep on the couch, and the news is breaking. Boom. Right around 6:00. Missing girls, missing Delphi teens, searching for 2 missing Delphi teens. So she wakes him up like, hey, what's going on? Did you see this? And he's like, what is it? And she said, well, it's 2 missing teens. 2 girls went missing at the Monon High Bridge Trail. He goes, well, I was there that day. That's strange. She said he was willing to go down there and talk to law enforcement and be as helpful as possible. Right? Dennis Rader. Compartmentalized killer. So this whole documentary was trying to paint Richard Allen as this family man. I just don't want anybody to be fooled by it. All right, let's read some of these. Let's see. Page 1 of my notes. 15 minutes in, nothing new. That's my first note there. Documentary claims Keegan Kline denied involvement. That's a lie. Lied about the lost tip. Right? They're pushing a narrative for sure. So I was upset from the beginning. Richard Allen's defense failed to defend him, but was successful in planting the seed that he could be innocent. So Richard Allen's defense team, their first move as his defense counsel was to connect with strange YouTubers like the Prof and Slow Joe. But later on, it had a good impact, right? Because it appealed to all of these ritualistic mind types. They knew that if they can organize this cult of ritualistic types, personality types, later on it will sow the seed. And it did. So everybody's like, why would they go with the whole Odinism thing? It wasn't to help him now. It was to attempt to help him during the appeal. And I feel like the documentary is a strategic part of all of this. The timing and everything. It's all there to benefit Richard Allen. Aw, just such a good family man. He's not capable of something like this. And this is why we talk about things like compartmentalization and why it's important. Cognitive dissonance, right? We all have cognitive dissonance. I think we all, to an extent, have dissonance. But these types of killers, is it cognitive? Nope. It's more ego driven, not balance. It's not balance driven. Charlotte, welcome in. Big up to UK. Charlie from UK told you he was innocent. You think he's innocent? That's interesting. I'm sure the BTK, look at him. He's just such a good dad. How could he possibly be some sadistic serial killer? The only word I have for you is compartmentalization. It's that simple. I think I even have an Air Force photo of the BTK. I think this might be when he was in the Air Force. Yep, and that's why they picked them, Fishy. That's why they picked them, because they were close to Hannah. Like, I respect Tom and I respect Aspen, but overall they're non-biased. So they're part of that, making sure that they give the victims attention. But the truth is, if they could have it their way, it would just be all about how Richard Allen is not the guy. In my opinion. Right? This is just my opinion. It will come out. You watch. He is the scapegoat. What am I watching for, Charlotte? What is it that I should be looking out for? I really want to know. What is it that I'm looking out for? All right, what else do we got here? Right. His defense was using social media creeps like flying monkeys to do their bidding, and their bidding they did. Those were my notes from earlier. Rick went to work the next day, right? Compartmentalized killer. Went to sleep, woke up, and went to work. How could somebody do that? It's not Rick. There's no way. Look, he's so good with his kids. You know what I mean? He's just so good with them. Wow. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no way it's him. It's not possible. He even looks like the BTK right here. Look at that. Chester, do you think they will talk about the Dropbox and who had access? Who? They didn't. The documentary's over. They did 3 parts. Apparently, it was supposed to be released in 2024. Crazy. Misty, how you doing? The son of Sam went to work every day in a post office. There you go. Compartmentalization. There's a reason we talk about these things, you guys. Remember, the Sleuth crew and the Sleuth Intuition channel is just my true crime journey and the way that it's evolving. You know, we're learning. We're becoming better at what we do. And you want to know why that's important? Because so are they. We're at war. Simple. Good versus evil. And no, there's no spectrum. It really is that simple. I'm not wrong. I've always said he's innocent. Have a nice sleuth. Well, yeah. You're convinced now that he's innocent? You're convinced that there's some kind of proof? I'm confused, Charlotte. Fishy, in all fairness, it's hard as fudge to understand somebody who could do such a thing. It is. It's almost impossible. Because everything that you think a sadistic, violent killer would do, it's just never really quite what you expect. But it's always the fight to understand, right? How do we see somebody like this coming? But my opinion of the documentary is it's just trying to humanize Richard Allen, trying to paint him as this harmless individual. But we all see it. We saw it in Brian Koberger, and we see it in Richard Allen. All right. They talked a little bit about his confessions. So we could touch on that.
Which means absolutely nothing. Even
so they played some of this.
It's all right, babe. It's gonna be all right.
Well, that's the scariest part.
They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. And I just can't believe that.
This whole interaction is strange.
I know. Do you think I'm not? And that's what I told them.
And that's what I told
I can't
him.
explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to him that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out.
Right. The only conversation, if you're here to support Richard Allen, is discussing that bullet. That's it. That is the thread that holds everything together in regards to Richard Allen. Brian says everybody's going to be fooled once they know the real story. Well, what's the real story, Brian? Let's hear your version of the real story, and then we'll compare it later on. And then we'll say Brian was right.
You know me. You know this isn't something I could do.
He's kind of like, you know me. You know this is something I could not do. But he's almost saying it like it's a question. Like, right? You know that, right? Like, where are you at, Kathy? Because she's just sitting there staring at him like, are you a killer? She doesn't understand how, the possibility that these cops are corrupt, which is a real thing. That's what a lot of people need to understand. Just because there's corrupt cops in this world and there's a lot of corruption doesn't mean this instance right here, there's police corruption. I'm sure there is to an extent or to a degree, right? Which is unfortunate. I don't believe there's anything right now in our society or any society that can be deemed as actual justice, right? But he's not acting like an innocent man.
And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know.
Brian says, really don't want to go there, and they know who's involved and can't go any further. Of course, Brian. It's okay. It's okay. We don't want you to put yourself in danger. It sounds like you have some highly sensitive information. And yeah, this definitely isn't the platform for that. Don't worry, Brian. We knew you weren't going to go ahead and spill the beans. It's all right.
They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Big black guy for Indiana or from Indiana?
I'm not going to say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know. Because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody.
The conversation shouldn't be him convincing his wife. It should be, you need to go right now and find me an attorney. These motherfuckers are trying to pin this shit on me, babe. Like, there is no discussion. It's like they've picked me. I'm their patsy. And I'm in a lot of trouble. They're claiming to have real evidence tying me to the crime scene. I need you to go get an attorney right away, immediately.
I didn't help somebody murder anybody. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me.
Neil says,
I know you know.
Brian, is your name Snay? His name's Brian Snay? I wonder if he's related to Rick Snay.
That I didn't do this had anything to do with it. Talk about scheming or something.
Yes, Kathy, absolutely. So he's looking at his wife and he's thinking she doesn't look convinced. So he's determined that she's not convinced by the look on her face. So he then begins putting on the salesman pitch. Like, you know me. He's like wiping off his leg all nonchalant, pulling off hairs and things. If anything, he's acting very guilty.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree with that, James.
How did a bullet from your gun get out there?
I don't know, hon.
Because they said it came from our gun.
Right? That's the only question you should be asking. If you have any support or you're here to support Richard Allen, that's what you need to be fighting against, is the bullet. Nobody even talks about it, really. But to me, that's what's influencing me. You can try to explain it away, but the technology that was used to connect Richard Allen's gun to that bullet is the same technology that's getting people out of prison right now. For the bad technology that was used prior to that when it comes to tool mark evidence. So 20 years ago, people were being convicted on tool mark evidence. They're reanalyzing that evidence today with the same machines, the same equipment, the same technology that they used to convict this guy. They're using that same technology to get those guys out of prison. So which is it? Should those guys go back into prison then? Is that what you're telling me? It's junk science? We can't let them out of prison because it's the junk science that's proving that it wasn't their bullet or their firearm. So we need to bring them back into prison then if Richard Allen was convicted on junk science. What's up, badass?
I know that's what they believe me. That's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
They said there was one in your box above your dresser that matched it.
They showed me that picture too. I can't explain it.
He didn't say that's not my bullet. They planted that. He's like, oh shit. He's like, this will be what sinks me. He's trying to win an Academy Award right here because it's very important for him to hold on to her support.
And I
can't either. They keep asking me and I don't know how to answer that.
You
There's no
answer
way
it.
for me to know.
I understand. Me either. And that's what I'm trying to tell him. You want to keep asking me and I just keep telling you I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something.
Let's go to Fishy. There is a huge difference between a fired and unfired round. What's the difference, Fishy? Other than that there's going to be another marking on the back from the firing pin. Other than that, there is no difference. It might add a little bit of pressure on the top of a shell casing, right? Because the bullet fits into the chamber. And when it's fired, it kind of presses up against the chamber. And those markings are considered tool markings too. But that's not how they got Richard Allen. They got him on the ejector marks. And remember, tool marks are a lot like fingerprints. So let's say you have a partial print. Okay, well, let me get a better print. All right, let me use more ink on your hand so I can get a better fingerprint. Well, that's cheating. Well, you're still using the same palm. You're just getting a better print. Nothing can change the print itself, but you can definitely intensify and bring out what it is that you're trying to show. Tool markings are a lot like fingerprints. If you put your thumb down and it's just dirty, you're going to leave somewhat of a smudge. But if you dip it in ink and press it right next to the same thumbprint, you're going to get a better version of that thumbprint. That's all you're doing by firing it or trying to put pressure on the ejector or whatever it is to bring those tool marks out. Nothing's going to change the fact that the tool marks themselves are just like fingerprints and they matched right to Richard Allen. There's no getting around that. It doesn't matter what you do. I don't care if you bang it with a hammer because you don't know what Richard Allen did to that gun. You don't know if he was beating it on a rock. You don't know if he was using it as a weapon. You don't know if it misfired. For all we know, Richard Allen tried to fire the weapon. I don't know. I don't know if something jammed the firing pin. I don't even know if there is a firing pin in that weapon. So you're trying to act like you know how Richard Allen left those markings on his casing when we don't. We don't know what he did. So I don't care how you get the fingerprint. The better I can see it, the better. So if you need to drip that thing in ink so that I can get a great comparison, great. As long as the original comparison is good too, right? You can't take a solid comparison and try to compare it to something that's blurry and obscured, right? If Richard Allen's shell casing that he left at the crime scene is a solid impression, I don't care how hard it is to match that same impression. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thumbprint. Fishy. Yeah, if you can debunk the tool mark evidence, you got me, honestly. But that still leaves Richard Allen as number one suspect. Even if you could debunk the bullet, he's still top of the list, right? Which is what I don't understand with people who support him. Later, James. Dark Side, what up? Yeah, brings out the detail in it is all. Doesn't change the thumbprint, doesn't change the fingerprint. And that's what a tool marking is. If you know what metal is at its core, you would understand it a little bit. We tried to do live streams and we did our best to try to explain it. I don't know. I guess at its core, it's just like it's kind of similar to a block of cheese, right? No block of cheese is going to be the same. They're all going to have different imperfection, air bubbles here and there. So if you find one that matches it, you can it's only safe to assume by a probability that it's the other half. Later, Charlotte. Badass says Kathy will have to move to Oklahoma now. Why? Let's go to Kathy Clendenning. Didn't he say he saw 3 girls? Yeah. And those are the same 3 girls that saw the bridge guy. And if they're not you know what's interesting about what Richard Allen stated? He said, I ran into these 3 girls when I was coming onto the trail. He said it looked like 2 of them were sisters and they were, looked like they were possibly babysitting. One was taller than the others. That is the exact description of the witnesses that said the man that they ran into at that very part of the trail is the guy in Libby's video. That's it, guys. That's the end of it. That's it. That's Richard Allen. He's the guy on the trail. People have already confirmed it. He admitted to it. And his bullet is found at the crime scene. That's it. The only conversation is either you can debunk that bullet or other people are possibly involved. That's it. There's no way around it. Fishy, what's interesting is that they provided their samples. So if you wanted to take a 40 caliber SIG P226 and chamber around and have the ejector bounce it out of the gun, you could do that yourself, put it up to a microscope, and compare it to Richard Allen's. If you can find something as similar as what prosecution has produced, I'll change my mind. And that challenge goes to anybody. What's up, Louise? Neil, what's up? Richard said they even look like sisters is very telling. And that was the truth. The truth was they were sisters and they were babysitting. And he said, I ran into them at the beginning of the trail. They said they ran into him right there as they were leaving, the same exact positioning. There's just no question about it that Richard Allen is the bridge guy. Now, why would he deny that? Well, he wasn't expecting there to be evidence tying him to the crime scene. He's very cocky up until this interview right here. Now, all of a sudden, he needs to be a salesman to his own wife? Right? I know, you know me. I know that you know me. I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you know me. It's like it should just be a given. Like, we got to get out of here. We're leaving. We're getting an attorney. They're trying to pin this on me. Fishy says, I don't know. I have issues with how he was convicted. Well, he was convicted on the bullet. Everything else is just circumstantial. The same reason they were able to prosecute Richard Allen is the same reason they couldn't prosecute anybody else. Nobody had a nexus.
That isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know
this is
that
what
no
I do
bullet
know
from my gun.
All right, let me run down the list, right? Instead of saying, what the fuck is this? Like, these idiots are trying to pin this on me. He's like, well, this is the way I was trying to convince myself, right? This is how I convinced myself that I was okay. And then he's going down the checklist. So all he's doing is explaining to her why he's so blindsided. Because he convinced himself that he was in the clear. He didn't see this coming.
Was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder.
Let's go to Mary. Says, you're so right about the gun evidence. Start with that. Yeah, that's really all they have, Mary. What else do they have? Take that away. Richard Allen's no different than Dave McCain, Brad Weber, Ron Logan. I mean, if people really want to go look at Brad Holder, they could probably find a way to do something with that alibi, or you know, he could be quarterbacking something or giving instructions without being present. You know, you don't have to be there. You could show up later. They didn't find the girls until the following day. But yeah, the truth is, the only thing connecting Richard Allen to the crime is the bullet. So once again, I challenge you. All you need is a P226. And remember, Brad Weber had a P226, a 6-hour, just like Richard Allen's. Right? The van coming down the street at 2:30. I mean, who's to say he's not the guy? Well, the bullet didn't match his gun. So if you have a SIG P226 out there, 40 caliber, they've posted Richard Allen's test results. You can pull them up online. If you need them, email me. I'll send them to you. Put your results under a high-powered microscope and compare them to Richard Allen. If they look the same, I will take my words back. And if you document it, everybody criticizes how they documented their testing. Why don't you do it the same way?
Or anything else, because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So
I never even seen him there, babe. Like, what kind of conversation is this? You just been accused as a double child killer. I didn't even have my gun that day. Like, you guys can't tell me this is not very strange.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain
it. Thanks, Robert.
And they're like, there's a way.
A for effort.
It was you out there.
Dear, I don't know what.
Like, how did they know it was you? So they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they seen me out there, they seen me out there, dear. And I told
were
them.
You on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first.
Were you on the bridge? So Kathy cared from the beginning. Babe, wake up. Did you see the news? These kids are missing. Well, I was on the trails, right? Photograph of the bridge guy comes out. Oh shit, look at the guy on the bridge. Were you on the bridge? No, I never went on that bridge. Telltale sign of a liar is changing your story. Come on, guys. Don't be susceptible to the manipulation of people like this. It's what they do.
Russell.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you you weren't on it.
The look in his face. So you want me to go to prison then? You trying to snitch on me right now? He hates her right there.
But I didn't.
it doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
She's
Huh?
like, you lied to me.
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You told
Hon,
me you weren't.
huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told
You
you.
told me you weren't on the bridge. He lied, changed his story. Go help find the girls. Not realizing that her husband is a compartmentalized killer. He could literally put what he just did in a box, hide it away for later for when he's alone, and pull it out and get sexual gratification from it. But he doesn't need it right now. Right now, he's playing Mr. Chameleon. He might as well be hanging upside down from the ceiling, matching that ugly color of that wall. That's basically what he's doing. For a lot of you, too. You can't see it.
That I walked.
Okay.
He's like, just shut up.
I love you, baby.
See, right there. I love you, baby. He's like, you don't realize what you just did. He's blaming her now, right there. In this very moment, he blames her.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And I'm
what.
like, how did they know it was you? So they said they
Neil, in the second one, I could see him doing something like that.
You were out there.
If they see me
Oh, yeah,
out
this
there,
is
they
the
see
second
me
one,
out
you're
there,
right.
dear, and I
But
told
were you
them.
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that.
remember you telling me that.
Right. They've talked about this a million times. I don't remember you telling me that. I mean, it's just the way it is, Mark. That's just the way the world runs. You have to be cautious. Ron was angry that this murder changed his life and he had nothing to do with the girls being killed on his property. Most likely, right? What's up, Great Day? Yep, changed his timeline, changed his description. Blamed the defense for people still being... Yeah, it was them that did it. You know, it's their job to put a spin. I don't blame them for putting a spin on it. I blame those for being spun. Some more screenshots. He's such a good dad. I'm sure he was a good dad. That's the thing you guys need to realize. Compartmentalized killers can appear to be good dads. But truthfully, they probably really don't have a bond. They can kind of act like it. You might have a bond with them, but they're not bonding back. They're acting as if they're bonding, right? They're giving you their best rendition of what bonding is to them. Let's see what else we got here. Kathy said it could have been anybody. When she saw the bridge guy image, that's what she said. And I quote, it could have been anybody. Here, let's try this. They also played some of his phone calls.
For English, press 1. Press 1. Correction. To prevent Department of Correct and recording.
So did Kathy tell you that I did it?
Did Kathy tell you? First thing he says to his mom. Did Kathy tell you I did it? Oh my.
For English, press 1. Code and
I'm trying to find the one that they were playing.
stop recording.
I need to know if you still love me, baby.
Might be this one, yeah.
This is a free call from
Ricky.
Yeah, it could have been anybody,
an inmate
including
at the
Richard
Indiana
Allen.
Department of Corrections, Westville Correctional Facility.
Right now,
To
he's the
accept
only
this
one
free
connected to
call,
the actual
press
crime
0.
scene.
To refuse this free call, hang up or press 1. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank
Yep,
you for
fishy.
using GTL.
Tell you, we're learning a lot about it.
Hello?
We're starting to see
Hey.
it, you know.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
I need to know if you still love me, baby.
Calm as a cucumber.
Yes, dear.
What's up, Jinx?
Okay. And everybody else will as well?
He didn't even bring up Kagan, who confessed. All right, guys. Jinx brings up a good point. Who's a better viable third-party suspect, Odinism or Keegan Kline, the guy who actually confessed?
Honey?
Yes.
Because I may have to spend the rest of my life here, or...
Yeah, he's calm.
That's not true. Okay.
Here, hold on. I knew I took a note about something that Kathy said. I'm jumping ahead, but what'd she say? Kathy says, she says reasonable doubt was everywhere during the documentary. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, maybe in your own mind, Kathy, right? So in her mind, she's in denial. So yeah, there's all kinds of reasonable doubt. What's up, Poos?
Okay.
It's not worth it.
I don't understand. I just got to know that everybody's
What's up,
still
Peggy?
going to love me.
Yeah, David McCain, right? What's the difference between David McCain and Richard Allen? Richard Allen's bullet was found at the crime scene. Hello.
Because I may only be able to see you one last time. You understand what I'm saying?
So to me right here, it sounds like Richard Allen was planning to take his own life. They didn't talk about it in court, but there was a report of him trying to take, what was it? Maybe a basketball hoop off or something. There was some reason, something happened. There was an incident. So I think he thought he would be able to take his own life. He's like, Kathy, I did it. This is the last time I'm going to be able to talk to you, because when we hang up the phone, I'm going to, complete this plan that I've come up with. But not realizing that it was more difficult than he thought. And then he ended up being transferred for those very reasons.
It's not true.
It's true, honey.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kathy.
Yes,
Put it in a lot of people's minds.
No.
So everybody asks, well, why would they defend Richard Allen with this Odinism stuff? I don't know. I feel like they didn't. They felt like they couldn't defend Richard Allen, so their only hope was with an appeal. Now, remember, guys, they were looking into the future. That's what a chess player does, right? Looks into the future. And that's what all these guys are. They're playing chess. So them reaching out to all these obscure YouTubers, these weird people, and doing the things that they did as far as the Odinism, they were trying to appeal to an audience. They were trying to appeal to people who were applying for the job of flying monkey. You know, believe it or not, that's a technical term. It's a medical term, flying monkey. So the defense recruits all these flying monkeys who have these personality disorders that are prone to some type of ritual or ritualistic, and they proceed to do their bidding for them. And it worked brilliantly. Maybe not for Richard Allen directly during trial, but right now we're definitely seeing the fruit of that.
I'm well.
No. No, you're not.
Yes, I am, honey. I just hope that you'll still love me, because I may only, if I get the electric chair or if I get the death penalty,
Dark side. Yeah, in my opinion, his lawyers knew they had a loser once he started talking, so they went with the Odin bullshit. Yeah, and it's paying off now. It didn't make any sense then, but it makes sense now. You know, not to mention, I guarantee they were killing multiple birds with one stone, right? By prolonging this and not allowing Richard Allen to just confess. The defense team may have prevented Richard Allen from telling us who else may have been involved, right? They keep bringing out all this information, this new information. Like recently, I think it was Shabugi. She put out that video like, hey, I have access to Michael Osbrook's full video that he got his hands on. And right around 2:07, look, there's a white car. Well, we've always suspected others were involved. Could this possibly have something to do with it? It's not any type of proof or smoking gun, but I mean, hey, a lot of information was not shared with the public.
No. No, honey, that's not going to happen. No.
Jinx.
if it does, will you be there for me?
Here, let me put some of these photos up.
It's not going to happen, dear.
Do what?
Nothing. This isn't right. They messed you up so bad.
It's okay, honey. I did it. I did it, dear.
Stop.
Here, let's go to some of my other notes. Here, let me put a pause right here real quick.
I've got somebody.
Shut that down. Let's see. Anna, during the documentary, of course, I wrote down, Anna breaks my heart every time. Her pain is still so fresh. So that's one of my notes here. So every time I can just see how fresh that pain is on Anna's, you know, every time she talks about the case. Let's see. What else do I have here? I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I was not impressed by the documentary. I loved what they did with Becky Patty. I loved what they did with Mike and Anna and all that stuff. But overall, it was pretty much pro Richard Allen. I felt like they were just trying to hide the pro Richard Allen stuff underneath a veil of perceived fairness. But I don't believe it was fair.
You're listening to me right now, dear.
No. I forget it. I'm sorry.
I don't.
Oh, you did it, dear. No way.
I killed Abby, dear.
No, you
I
didn't.
killed Abby and Libby, dear.
Stop.
Calm as a cucumber.
Stop saying that.
go. I was trying to let you go.
So are you trying to make believe that Richard Allen is just so disturbed by being falsely accused, falsely imprisoned, that he doesn't want to hurt his wife anymore, that he's just being a martyr? If they want to pin it on me, go ahead. You can pin it on me. I got to let my wife go, though, because, I'm their patsy. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. I got to accept it. I knew I should let you go. That's not what he's doing. He's literally confessing to the murders.
Stop. We're going to be back together.
You have 1 minute remaining.
She's so cute. She was so cute as a kid, huh? Oh, yeah, they milked the cow. We did probably 5 live streams on that. They used Richard Allen. You want to talk about a sacrifice? Richard Allen was a sacrifice. That's for sure. They milked the hell out of that guy. Guilty or not. I don't know who this person is.
Will you always love me, baby?
But man, she's those eyes.
Who's with you?
She got the Richard Allen eyes.
Who's with you?
She's got Brian Koberger eyes.
You need to stop talking. If your lawyer's not there, you need to stop talking. Who's with you, honey? Who's with you?
Thank you for using GT. For English, press 1. Para español, oprima 2.
All right, let's play one more of those.
For English, press 1. For a collect call, press 0. This is Westville recording.
What's going on?
I just wanted to apologize to you.
What's going on, sweetheart?
I did it.
I did it. He said I did it.
What?
I killed Abby and Libby.
Fuck.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I
No,
did.
you didn't, Darren.
Yes, I did.
Don't say
I don't know
didn't.
why.
No, you didn't.
The team's hard at work.
No, you didn't, Darren.
Right?
You're not feeling well. There's something wrong. They've messed up your meds or something there.
No, I evidently did it.
No, you didn't. Why
Patrick
did you say
Westphal.
that?
Because maybe I did.
No, you didn't, dear.
Tom, big shout out to Big Tom.
I think I did.
No.
Big Tom looking sharp in the suit. I think Tom was my favorite part. Shout out to Tom Webster.
No, you didn't. They are screwing with you there, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. There's something wrong. They are messing with you. They are messing with your mind.
These are the
Did Dad
people that
tell
put
you I
together
called?
the Frank's memo.
Yeah,
What did I
Yeah.
say to him?
I don't know. I talked to your mom, but she called me in, and we're just worried about you because something's not right.
Is there a way to talk to Dad?
No, honey, I'm not with them right now. And there's something wrong. They're
There's
screwing
something
with you
wrong.
there.
What did I say
Maybe
to Dad?
They have done something to your food, or they've done something to your meds. And there's something wrong. Don't you ever say you did anything, because I know you didn't.
He's
think
like, all
I
right.
did.
He's like,
No,
all
you
right, then I won't.
didn't. Why would you say that?
Because I think I did.
No, you didn't. You know you didn't.
I think I did.
I wish I could say I didn't. I don't know.
You don't know. See, exactly. There's something wrong. They're screwing with you. They're trying to get you to say things.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
That's-
That's a good point. Let's go to what Jinx reminded me here. Why didn't anyone else interview for Richard Allen besides his wife, not even his mama? Well, how about this, Jinx? Why didn't his wife interview during the trial? You can interview for a documentary, but you can't testify for your husband? Interesting. Very interesting.
No, I deserve it, I guess.
You,
It's all in the
there's
eyes.
something wrong. No, you don't.
I just wish they would kill me or let me apologize to the families at least.
Dear. Don't talk anymore.
Yep, she
Just
didn't.
don't
His
talk
mom
anymore.
didn't either.
Okay?
I'm sure.
Don't talk anymore. I need to get a hold of somebody there.
Thank you for using GTL. For English, press.
All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. It's all my notes, all the photographs, all the screenshots that I took. Let's see if I missed any. No, that's it for the most part. I wasn't impressed for the first 15 minutes of part one. I mean, there really was, through the entire documentary, there wasn't anything new. To be honest, just a lot of photographs that were presented by Kathy Allen. But overall, I got a biased feeling about it. Definitely wasn't fair. And you got to think it's got to be extremely biased, right? For pro Richard Allen people to call it fair. I mean, the scale has to be tipping so far over for them to even be like, oh, okay, I'll accept that. We'll call it fair. It's like, whoa. If you guys have anything to add to the chat, do it now. Let's go to Kathy. Her husband was going to pay like the documentary. Dark side. Yeah, in my opinion, she definitely had to have her suspicions about Richard. I don't know. She might have been in denial. The subconscious mind is a very mysterious thing. Be interested to know what their friends thought. A dark side, just think about multiple personalities. You know, how does something like that happen? Well, we create defense mechanisms to try to deal with things. We put up walls in our psyche. She could have done that quickly. We all do it to an extent, to a degree. Christine, Richard Allen is such a liar. 130 years, that's not even close to what he deserves. CJK, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being here, CJK. Shout out to the replay crew. Guys, leave me a comment. And if you haven't seen it, let me know what you think. You know, after you watch it, leave me a comment. Leave a comment, let me know. And if you can't hit the Cash App, hit the like button. It's right there. Just click it. Kathy says, what friends did Richard Allen have? None of them came forward. Not at all. It was important for his daughter to come on there because they were trying to paint him as a molester. So she came on there and said, nope, he didn't molest me. And then they let her go. Same thing with his sister. Jamie, did he molest you? No. Okay, you can go. That's it. And they both could have been lying. Thank you, Louise. It was good to see you. Same with you, Mark. Stay sharp. Stay vigilant. Is there a documentary on Lyric and Elizabeth? Yes, there is. That came out last year. I think it's on Max. Just type in the Evansdale murders and you can watch it. It's pretty good. It's hyper focused on Michael Klunder, which I think is reckless because they don't have anything solid on him, right? He's not under arrest. He's actually been cleared by law enforcement. So I think it's very dangerous to, as somebody, as part of the public, to call him a viable suspect when he's been cleared by law enforcement. I think it's very reckless. That case still needs all the attention in the world. Keep your eyes focused on Evansdale. Nobody is a suspect. Nobody's under arrest. They're not looking at anybody. They need every tip possible. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Jinx says yes, it's on HBO Max for Evansdale. Yeah, they did a really good job on it. Definitely way better than this documentary that was just put out on Delphi. Growing Crazy, good to see you. Says thanks, Sleuth. I appreciate your take on this documentary. Allen is in the right place. He is guilty. Congrats. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if you want to name another suspect, we know who else was involved. That suspect and Richard Allen. So it doesn't matter how you paint it. Doesn't matter how you spin it. Richard Allen's there. Unless you can debunk the bullet. And good luck with that. Because the same technology that's being used to put Allen in prison is the same technology that's being used to get people out of prison. Which is a good thing, right? I thought it was a good thing. Because we are advocates for false accusations, false confessions. But we know how to compare apples to apples, and we know when there's apples to oranges. We got that discernment. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you on the next one.
I rest my case.